afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Wednesday. Got a little warmer today than I thought.
Yeah, it felt nice outside, but this weather for August, boy, what a gift.
I know, it could be 95. Yeah, absolutely. We'll get to the weather in just a bit. But first, here's what's making news on this Wednesday. Let the races begin. The field of candidates is set for November, and Governor Evers is first out of the gate this morning.
Former President Trump takes the fifth in a New York civil investigation. We'll tell you where or what that may lead to.
And veterans applaud as President Biden signs a bill that helps millions of veterans who returned home from war sick. Let's take a look outside. Sunshine all around today, and the splash parks are busy. Soak it all in, though, because winter will be here soon.
No, don't say that.
Julian's in the backyard. You know, there's some trees around here that are starting to turn color. I think they're probably just diseased, but it's a sign of things to come.
Well, it's just funny that you say that, Mark, because when you said winter, it will be here soon enough, man, that just hurt my heart. I'm still want to just bask in the warmth that we have as of right now. Plenty of sunshine, and on top of it, the green leaves on our trees. But let's get into the weather. Pretty blue sky. The blue skies are going to pretty much just be sticking around throughout much of the next part of this week and even going into next week as well. So like I said, soak it all in, because even though it's a little warmer than normal around this time of year, it's still rather pleasant, especially since it's not overly humid as we're kicking off our Wednesday afternoon. Now taking a look at temperatures in southern Wisconsin itself. Lone Rock and Bosqueville, 84 apiece, 80 degrees in Platteville with 82 in Janesville, and our friends to the northwest, Fort La Crosse and Black River Falls, around 87 degrees for us. But dew points mainly are into the mid-60s. It's not overly humid, but we can still feel a bit of it, but still rather it's comfortable as we get into the rest of our afternoon and evening hours. Taking a look at our radar, still dry, and that's going to continue to be the theme throughout much of our afternoons over the next couple of days, but we could see some changes. The action that we're starting to see is really into the southeast and pushing its way to my hometown, back into the DMV, towards Maryland and even the DC area. But we're not going to be dealing with rain throughout the rest of today, but tonight could say a stray shower, but temperatures will fall to being more comfortable once again into those lower 60s, and some clouds will start to build for some areas, especially around Madison and areas to the southeast. Now, as we take a look at what we're going to be looking at for our traffic around the 4 p.m. evening commutes, well, things are pretty smooth, especially along the Beltline, which is good news for those who are leaving work a little bit early or have to get from point A to point B. Taking a look at our interstate as of right now, still looking as green as also, but folks, once again, we're going to take a look at how long we have to just be able to soak in this weather, because it's actually going to be more pleasantries on the way. We'll talk about that in a few moments. Until then, back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Julian, thank you. First at 4, it's on to round 2 of campaign 2022 here in Wisconsin.
Last night's primaries have narrowed the field to the main candidates in both the governor's race and for U.S. Senate. Less than 24 hours after she was elected to be his running mate, State Representative Sarah Rodriguez joined Governor Evers for breakfast as the pair kicked off their general election campaign. Rodriguez, who represents Assembly District 13 in Brookfield, scored a landslide victory over Penn-Hur in the Democratic primary for lieutenant governor yesterday. Evers and Rodriguez met at Monty's Blue Plate Diner in Madison as they begin to plan for how to defeat challengers Tim Michels and State Senator Roger Roth.
We're going to be focusing on what the people of Wisconsin elected me on last time, and we're going to be working hard also on the issue of making sure that we can do whatever we can to rein in inflation in the state of Wisconsin.
The race for governor in Wisconsin has already garnered national attention, with political analysts seeing the state as a key battleground for both Republicans and Democrats. Evers' opponent, Tim Michels, did not have any appearances today, but a state spokesman for the Republican National Committee did issue a statement today. From proposed tax hikes, cuts to school choice, and soft on crime policies, Wisconsinites are not interested in Tony Evers and Sarah Rodriguez's malarkey. That's from RNC spokeswoman Rachel Reisner. We reached out to the Michels campaign for comment and did not hear back. We'll continue to follow the latest developments out of the Michels campaign, with November's general election now 90 days away.
Evers' current lieutenant governor won the Democratic nomination to challenge incumbent Senator Ron Johnson. We asked Mandela Barnes on News 3 Now this morning if he would commit to running a clean campaign through November.
The reality is Ron Johnson has truly left people in the state behind. In the last week alone, he came out against our veterans who've been victims of burn pits. He came out against capping the cost of insulin. He also came out in favor of slashing Medicare. Now, we are going to hold Ron Johnson accountable to those things, but the biggest part of our message is leading with our values and leading with our vision, talking about the things that will improve the quality of life for people all across this state.
Senator Johnson was also invited for an interview this morning, but his campaign did not respond. With candidates now confirmed for the state's midterm election, the state's 3rd congressional district will likely be the most competitive House race this year.
State Senator Brad Pfaff edged out Eau Claire's small business owner Rebecca Cook by 8 percentage points to succeed retiring Ron Kind. As McKenna Alexander explains, a flip on the House majority could come down to this western Wisconsin vote. McKenna.
Yeah, over the next couple of months, you can expect competitive campaigns from both Democrat Brad Pfaff and Republican Derek Van Orden. This is as Republicans work to reclaim the district that's been held by Democrat Ron Kind for the past 2 decades. Now, one UW La Crosse political science professor says the GOP's optimism for a Van Orden win comes down to a couple key reasons. The first lies within a broader political context, and that midterms are often unkind to the president's political party. They're also encouraged by Van Orden's strong fundraising efforts, which could give him the resources to run a very competitive campaign, as shown in his 2020 race against Ron Kind.
In 2020, we saw that the rural areas really did not go in Ron Kind's favor, even though for years he had done quite well in rural areas. And that's just indicative of broader patterns in Wisconsin, where Democrats are struggling mightily in rural areas.
Chergosky also says familiarity with the candidate can be important in elections. We'll see if it will overshadow the growing trend of just voting along party lines. Coming up at 6, I'll share what he believes Pfaff needs to do in order to prevent a Van Orden win, and just how difficult that battle may be.
McKenna, thank you. Elsewhere in the primaries, Wisconsin Assembly Speaker Robin Vos will keep his seat at the Capitol after beating Trump-endorsed candidate Adam Steen. Vos wasted no time criticizing former Wisconsin Supreme Court Justice Michael Gableman, who also endorsed Steen despite Vos's support of the election investigation.
Gableman is an embarrassment to the state. So I am going to take some time to talk with my caucus next week. We actually have a caucus on Tuesday. I'm going to talk about it with all the members and see what the next step should be. But I am not going to let my joy for tonight be focused on a person like Mike Gableman who isn't worth the time to talk about.
This all comes after Vos repeatedly told Trump it is impossible to decertify Wisconsin's 2020 election results. With no Democrats filed to run in Vos's district this fall, he will keep his seat after the general election in November. Former President Trump pled the Fifth today during his deposition with the New York Attorney General's office.
The probe is part of a long-running civil investigation, which began in 2019 into his company's real estate dealings.
Naomi Ruckham reports from New York.
Former President Trump gave a thumbs up on the way to his deposition at the New York Attorney General's office, where he declined to answer questions under oath. Mr. Trump released a statement about invoking his right against self-incrimination, saying in part, when your family, your company, and all the people in your orbit have become the targets of an unfounded, politically motivated witch hunt, you have no choice.
In the past, he'd said only guilty people plead the Fifth. What he's trying to do is diffuse one of those costs, which is making him look bad, making him look guilty, and making him look like a hypocrite.
The civil investigation, led by Democrat Letitia James, is looking into whether the Trump Organization inflated the values of multiple real estate properties to get favorable loans and tax deductions. The AG's office says it's collected substantial evidence that could support a lawsuit against Mr. Trump or his company. Former President Trump has also been lashing out about a separate federal probe into whether he illegally took classified material from the White House when he left office. In an extraordinary move Monday, the FBI searched the former president's home in Mar-a-Lago, seizing boxes and paper documents, some of which are believed to contain classified information. President Trump's lawyers have suggested, without proof, the FBI may have planted evidence, and Republican allies are calling for transparency.
This raises serious questions, again, about the Biden administration politicizing and weaponizing law enforcement.
Wednesday, President Biden ignored questions about the FBI's actions.
Are you confident DOJ will be there?
White House officials maintain Mr. Biden had no prior knowledge of the search. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
And the DOJ and the FBI have yet to explain the basis for the search, but it's not believed to be related to the January 6th attack on the Capitol.
Veterans and their families surrounded President Biden today as he signed into law a bill they spent years fighting for.
When they came home, many of the fittest and best warriors that we sent to war were not the same.
The PACT Act expands health care benefits for millions of veterans who returned home from war sick. Navy veteran Tom Porter of Iraq-Afghanistan Veterans of America says before today, most claims had been turned down.
This is the biggest deal, probably the biggest veterans health care legislation that's ever been passed into law.
This new law helps veterans link 23 different respiratory illnesses and cancers to their toxic exposure, making it easier for them to get care and benefits.
A huge fire at a recycling plant near St. Louis has filled the skies with heavy black smoke. It's prompting local officials to issue a shelter-in-place order. The large fire is burning at Interco, a recycling plant that does metal recycling. Firefighters from across the area have been called to the scene.
Ukraine's Air Force says 9 Russian warplanes were destroyed in massive explosions at an airbase in Crimea amid speculation that they were the result of a Ukrainian attack. That would represent a significant escalation in the war. Russia denied any aircraft were damaged in Tuesday's blasts or that any attack took place. Another ship has arrived at a Ukrainian port to be loaded with 30,000 tons of corn. This is the second ship that has come for loading to the port as part of a signed initiative for safe transportation of grain and foodstuffs from Ukrainian ports across the Black Sea. The ministry added another 12 ships were heading from Ukrainian ports with 370,000 tons of agricultural products to 7 countries.
Lyme disease is the most common tick-borne disease in the U.S., and cases are increasing. U.S.-based Pfizer and a French biotech company developed the experimental vaccine known as VLA-15, which aims to block a tick from transmitting the infections when it bites. Deer ticks carry the bacteria that causes Lyme.
It's a vaccine that's designed to prevent Lyme disease caused by the 6 most common types of Lyme bacteria in both the US and Europe.
Symptoms include fever, headache, fatigue, and for some, the first sign is a red, round bullseye rash infection that can spread to joints, the heart, and the nervous system if not treated. CDC estimates suggest about 476,000 people get Lyme disease each year in the U.S.
Concerned animal lovers around the world have been closely following news about a beluga whale that swam up a river to Paris. We have a sad update, unfortunately. French rescue workers plucked the whale out of the River Seine early this morning. Just last week, experts spotted the whale making the journey up the river far from its typical Arctic home. Conservationists tried to lure the whale back to saltwater with its favorite food, but concern grew when they noticed it wasn't eating or changing direction. A team of experts made the call to pull the whale out of the river, but during the overland journey back to the sea, the whale suffered respiratory failure and had to be put down.
Well,
it is sad.
Yeah, it is sad. Well, the Red Lobster restaurant chain is known for its Red Lobster tails. Well, Red Lobster finds another crustacean of a different color, and this one won't become someone's dinner. The chain says it discovered a second rare orange lobster. They're so rare that only 1 in every 30 million lobsters are orange, and the seafood chain says it found 2 in the last month. Lobsters get their coloring from foods they eat, and these 2 orange lobsters were found in the same part of Mississippi. Red Lobster named the 2 cheddar and biscuit after their favorite non-fishy side dish.
Oh, I'm glad nobody ate it.
So we're not going to start an orange lobster chain because we'd have a lot to serve up. Well, summer travel is still a struggle, especially flying.
But CBS travel editor Peter Greenberg says things may be improving. He joins us next when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Don't miss A1 Furniture's warehouse clearance sale with savings up to 40% off, plus instant cashback and free financing. Two-piece living room sets from $7.99, sectionals $9.99, queen mattress just $2.99. Only at A1 Furniture and Mattress.
Attention homeowners, we started with 50. Now we're looking for 30 homeowners who need new windows. We want to take your old windows out and install new Eco Sky windows, featuring Sky Mirror technology to give your home an energy upgrade. Call Mad City Windows, Wisconsin's #1 remodeler and trusted local source for the new Eco Sky windows. Act now to be one of 30 homeowners who receive special savings with free installation on a house full of new windows. 18 months, no interest, no payments. Senior and military discounts will take before and after pictures and compensate you for your time. Call during this program and receive a free $50 Amazon gift card with your free in-home estimate. From Madison throughout South Central Wisconsin, call now with zip code and location to qualify. 608-338-1616. That's 608-338-1616.
Eyes require a certain kind of care. As a family-owned optical company for over 40 years, Wisconsin Vision knows firsthand just how important your eyes are. That's why our doctors and staff are highly skilled and passionate in their roles. It's why our centers offer a large selection of eyewear suitable for all lifestyles, and it's why our lens lab is state-of-the-art, conveniently located right here in Wisconsin.
Ask about our Designer Kids package or free lens upgrade. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
This is what people with eczema said about how their skin feels. When it comes to our skin, what if it could feel differently? Say hello to Opzelura for the treatment of mild to moderate eczema. Opzelura is a steroid-free cream, proven to help clear skin and significantly reduce itch. Do not start Opzelura if you have any infection, as it may lower your ability to fight them. Tell your doctor if you are being treated for an infection, have TB, or have been in close contact with someone with TB, have had hepatitis B or C. Serious lung infections, skin cancer, blood clots, and low blood cell counts have been reported with Opzelura. In patients taking JAK inhibitors, serious infections, increased risk of death, lymphoma, other cancers, immune system problems, and major cardiovascular events have occurred. The most common side effect is pain and swelling in the nose or throat. It's a one-of-a-kind cream. So what could that mean for your skin? Ask your dermatologist about Opzelura.
Back to school means big savings at A1 Furniture. Mattresses for $149, sofas $399, flip-flops $299, dressers $149. Up to 40% off store-wide plus instant cash back. The Back to School savings event only at A1 Furniture.
Welcome back. Economists are currently optimistic that inflation may be slowing down.
Gas prices are much higher compared to last year, but the national average for a gallon of gas has dropped about $1 since mid-June. The government says overall consumer prices were up over 8% in July compared to the previous year. That is historically high, but better than June's 9.1%.
Appears that June may have been the peak in inflation, and I don't want everyone to get too excited because it's just 1 month.
The report comes as back-to-school shopping is in full swing. The new report shows prices for books and supplies only increased 3.1% over last year. Computers actually dropped 3.5%, and smartphones are down 20% in the past 12 months.
On Wall Street, investors met that news with open arms. The Dow Industrials gained 535 points, closing at 33,309. The NASDAQ soared, adding 360 points, or nearly 3%. The S&P 500 was up 87 points. Well, another tough weekend for air travel as more than 10,000 flights were either canceled or delayed.
We talked with CBS News senior travel editor Peter Greenberg about this and when is the best time to book your next trip.
So, Peter, the last time we talked, you said the U.S. Department of Transportation and Congress were considering ways to get some relief to flyers dealing with these long delays and cancellations. Where do we stand on that?
Well, one bill has been introduced by Senators Markey and Representative Cohen that would require airlines to immediately refund you money if they cancel your flight. Now, there's a U.S. Department of Transportation rule already on the books, but this would sort of codify it as a piece of legislation. A far more likely result is what the United States Department of Transportation just announced, that they're proposing a rule that if an airline cancels your flight, that's already a rule. But if they delay your flight by more than 3 hours, then they're going to give you an immediate refund as well. And that also includes if they actually change your destination city or your departure city, and that's a big deal. Now remember, I have to put this in perspective. Any federal rule requires a 90-day period of comments before the agency actually takes action, so we may not see relief until the end of this year.
Okay, well, that is a glimmer of hope, and there's some more good news, too. I'm always watching airfares, and they're dropping. Why are prices falling right now?
Well, Americans are not very price sensitive during the pandemic, and especially this summer. They were going to travel at any cost, emphasis on the words at any cost. They've now received their credit card statements, and they're in sticker shock. They can't believe they spent that much money for travel. Many of them are making the decision they're going to hold off travel for the rest of 2022. Then you have seasonality kicking in, kids back in school, people back at work. Today, airfares are 27% less on average than they were in May. And in about 10 days, there'll be another 20% less. So if you're a strategic traveler and you have any money left in your bank account, it becomes a buyer's market starting around September 15th.
So the middle of September, maybe take a look at prices again. So what do we see when it comes to hotel reservations and car rentals? Are those prices dropping as well?
They are. Keep in mind that hotel prices on average this year were 34% above what they were in 2019. But again, those prices are coming down because the forward-looking bookings are not strong. They're following the airline booking. So you'll see those prices coming down and rental car prices as well. I'm in Fort Myers, Florida right now. If I were to rent a car 2 months ago, it could have been $200 a day. Today, it was $60. So there is hope.
Wow, that is good to hear. But it was another tough weekend for the airlines. There were a lot more cancellations again. So that's still been a consistent problem this summer.
It is, and it's going to stay with us until around the 15th of September again, where the airline schedules will by nature have to stabilize because the demand won't be there. Not because the airlines are doing anything differently, they just couldn't handle the demand. They were overscheduled and understaffed. That still has to be addressed. But right now, wait for September 15th. We all may be able to breathe, at least temporarily, a little easier.
If there's room on the credit card, it might be time to book a trip.
Yes.
Peter, thank you. Great to see you again.
Hope to see you this fall, Peter, in Madison for a Badger game.
Oh, you know I'm coming. I'll give you guys notice, but I'm going to be there.
The prices are coming down. You have no excuse.
Yeah, right.
Thanks, Peter.
Thank you, Peter.
Bye, guys.
Some good news for a change.
Very good news, yeah.
Right.
If you can wait until September, it might be worth your while.
All right, there's more at 4. What would you do if a giant gorilla comes sliding right at you?
Well, there's a question. It happened to a woman in South Carolina. We'll find out what happened coming up after Julian's First Warn forecast.
Whether you have a design emergency or you just want to shop the best furniture showroom in town, you need Dwellings, Madison's best kept secret for design and furniture. Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
You know, higher temperatures lead to higher power bills. So this summer, call Mad City for our exclusive Eco Sky windows with a higher energy rating than other windows on the market. Plus, Sky Mirror technology and layers of low E work to block out harmful UV rays.
Insulating and keeping the home, cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter. Just looking nice.
Now listen to this, 30 homeowners who need new windows will save with free installation on a house full of new windows. 18 months, no interest, no payments. We're going to compensate you for your time. And if you call right now, you get a $50 Amazon gift card with your free in-home estimate from Mad City Windows. From Madison throughout South Central Wisconsin, call now with zip code and location to qualify, 608-338-1616. That's 608-338-1616.
Those brave men and women of our armed forces, generations of them,
Why should today's burdens fall back onto them? They were there for us. Now let's be there for them. Your local Wisconsin energy providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund are working together to deliver Wisconsin veterans in crisis heat, power, and help staying in their home. But they can't do it alone. Donate today.
I love this state. Knock on any door in any county, and you'll find good-hearted, hard-working folks. People whose businesses I proudly helped as Lieutenant Governor. Hard work needs to be respected again, with fair wages and opportunities to get ahead. That's how my parents opened doors for me. My mom was a teacher and my dad worked third shift. I'm not one of these millionaires. I work just as hard for you as you work for your family. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
For 25 years, Capital Bank has been Madison's personal tailor when it comes to business banking. But make no mistake, the investment in our customers has made more than a stitch of difference in Dane County. We attribute our growth to our meaningful customer relationships where we focus on earning your trust, not just your money. When you succeed, we succeed. Capital Bank, tailored service, experienced bankers, locally invested.
Well, take a look at this. Celebrating his 90th birthday, the Danish toy maker Lego unveiled a 94,128-piece Lego birthday cake. It features 9 layers representing the 9 decades of Lego play. It was built by employees and put on display in the Lego house, the home of the Lego brick. The birthday will be marked with events at its stores around the world. The cake even spins very fast. The family-owned company was founded in 1932 by Ole Kirk Christensen. The company's I don't know what I'm trying to say there. Anyway, the Lego brick was first produced in its current form in 1958. Lego produces roughly 100 billion bricks each year and employs around 24,000 people worldwide.
How long do you think it took them to build it?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Wait till you see this thing spin. It's like a top.
Wow, that's really
I'm
cool.
not sure why it goes
Kind of mesmerizing.
so
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. But man, the manpower to make that, though.
And the Legos all stay in place.
Yeah, right.
Sheesh. Well, kudos to them.
Happy birthday, Lego.
I don't know if I want that, but
just don't walk around the house with bare feet.
No, because no. That's one of the worst pains in the world.
Yes. Stepping on a Lego brick.
Yeah. Oh man,
it's beautiful outside today.
And it's going to be like that for a while.
Yeah.
The weather's painless.
Yes, exactly. Gotta love that. So we're going to take a look at that coming up right after the break.
As far as like the customer service, the product that I have, I love it. The people are great, so that puts it very high on the ranking.
We take pride in the little details and strive for perfection. Mad City Windows A+ rated with the BBB. Our windows feature wood grains on the inside, and we offer several styles to choose from: bay, bow, casement, and picture, with colors such as forest green, champagne, and more. 30 homeowners who need new windows will save with free installation on a house full of new windows. Listen to this: 18 months, no interest, no payments, senior military discounts. We're going to take before and after pictures and compensate you for your time. And you get a free $50 Amazon gift card with your free in-home estimate. From Madison throughout South Central Wisconsin, call now with zip code and location to qualify. 608-338-1616. That's 608-338-1616.
Hello, I'm Roman Ryan of Ryan Funeral Homes. As a locally owned and operated funeral home, it's important to know that not all funeral homes are the same. Some other Madison area funeral homes are actually owned by corporations based outside of the United States. A corporately owned funeral home is focused on the bottom line, making services more costly. We have served local families for more than 80 years, and our priority is investing in the community and your family. In your time of need, Ryan Funeral Homes are here for you.
I'm a mom of 4 kids. We have 1 in high school, a toddler, and our latest addition, 7-month-old twins. I can appreciate the impacts of inflation. DC liberals just keep spending. All that money isn't free, and families are paying the price. Senator Ron Johnson is fighting to help Wisconsin families. He voted against reckless spending that caused inflation and to cut waste in Washington. Tell Senator Ron Johnson to keep fighting to stop the spending and hold DC liberals accountable.
I'm gonna miss you.
At Prudential, we can't tell you when your kids will finally go out on their own. But we can at least make sure that when they do, you're ready. That's why millions rely on us for the rock-solid strength that helps you plan for and achieve your retirement dreams. Whichever road you take, who's your rock?
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
And another gorgeous yet warm summer day here as we're getting into the mid part of our week. Blue skies are hanging around here in Madison. As we take a look at what we're going to see throughout the next few hours, well, folks, it's going to cool down just a bit. Into the lower 80s by the time we're around 6 o'clock, and then the 70s are going to come in and welcome us by the time we get into our early evening and early nighttime hour as well. But here's what we're looking at on our surface map. So we have this cold front, which is going to start to advance throughout the rest of southern Wisconsin, which is going to bring temperatures back to being even more pleasant starting tonight. However, with that, we could start to see some isolated showers later on as well, which we'll get to in just a moment. But otherwise, we have this high pressure system which has had the Midwest in a chokehold, which has kept things rather dry and quiet, and that's going to continue over the next couple of days as well. But we can see where all the showers and storm activity is mainly into the southeast and even towards the northeast where the DC metropolitan area is, where we're seeing some flooding issues over towards my hometown as of right now in Maryland. But taking a look for us here in the upper Midwest, rather dry, and it's going to be that way throughout the next few hours. The only real chance of us to really see any kind of showers is later on tonight. But again, we'll get into that in just a moment, but all the activity is still towards the southeast. So let's go ahead and walk through what we're going to be expecting for this evening for us. Still, mainly going to be dry throughout much of southern Wisconsin. Areas just northeast of the Dells could see a pop-up isolated shower. It will try to form just a bit of a line just near Juneau, but overall it's not going to really start to connect or even cluster. It's just going to be a bunch of popcorn type showers that will still try to track their way near Dane County but fizzle out by the time we even get into midnight. And some of those showers may not even reach the ground as we get into the later part of the evening hours. So not looking at much in terms of rain. We're still going to be holding on to the dry trend over the course of this small, if you even want to call it an event. Thursday morning, this is what we're waking up to. Potentially some cloud cover. Temperatures are still going to be rather cool, but just note by the time we get into around the lunchtime hour, we're still not going to see temperatures rise much more. We're back to pleasantries as that northerly flow is going to keep things rather cool. So let's thank Canada for this beautiful weather that we're dealing with as we head into the back end of the work week. Around 5 p.m., we're still going to be into the cool side, and then going into our Thursday night, another cool night is in store for us, and some clouds will start to build just a bit by the time we transition into our Friday morning. Again, we're not looking at much in terms of rain. Some areas may see close to 1/10 of an inch, but we're not going to be holding on to much in terms of precipitation at all. But taking a look at our temperature trend over the next 10 days in itself, folks, it's going to feel pretty great. Normally around this time of year, it's around 81 degrees. By the time we get into the back end of next week, it's supposed to be around 80, and folks, it's going to be into the upper 70s by the time we're into next week. We have a couple chances of potentially seeing some showers or storms, but that's going to be the back end of the work week as of right now. Of course, that's subject to change, but this weather that we're dealing with, man, soak it all in, because this is just gorgeous, especially heading into the weekend. Feel a bit more warm, but it's going to be perfect to be out on a boat, go out to do any kind of outdoor activities, or just be in the water in itself. So here is my endorsement for you to get outside and enjoy this weather, because, man, we don't get it like this on every August.
Yeah, middle of August, this is perfect.
Yeah, especially since last August, my first time here, we were dealing with storms.
Remember that? Oh, yeah.
It was hot and stormy. Now we got beautiful blue skies and nice weather. I love it.
That's because you're here. Thanks, Julian.
Thanks, Julian.
Well, you may have done the electric slide back in the day, but what about the gorilla slide?
It's a move that one primate performed at a South Carolina zoo.
And it's got the internet buzzing. Jeannie Mose has the details.
It's the slide that has folks going ape.
Sliding right towards me.
Tina Flick barely had time for these thoughts to flicker through her head.
They are going to slam into the glass. They're going to break the glass. I froze.
But then Sinzu the gorilla turned his back and did what one commenter described as talk to the butt.
Oh. What do you think he was doing by pointing his butt at you?
Uh-oh. This is going to be really ugly. I thought I was going to get sprayed.
But this 26-year-old 395-pounder merely allowed his posterior to be admired, then casually walked away.
And then turned around at the end and gave me this look. Do not mess with me.
Hi. Oh, my God. Okay.
When we asked keepers at Riverbank Zoo in Columbia, South Carolina about the gorilla slide and rear end display, they said Sinzu does do this often to remind the other gorillas and our zoo guests that he is the boss. It's his way of showing off for the ladies. Online posters asked Tina to add a Sir Mix-a-Lot track.
I like big butts and I cannot lie.
To her video.
Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake that healthy butt. Baby got back.
Did that hairy booty remind you of anyone?
My husband.
Hubby's gonna want to tell his wife, kiss my jelly.
He's gonna kill me for saying that.
After 20 years of marriage, will he still have her back after what she said about his backside?
Baby got back.
Jeannie Mose, CNN, New York.
Oh.
She's got to regret saying that.
I love the look. The look was
the over the shoulder at the end.
You know who the boss is.
Yeah,
That's funny.
He is the boss. Well, coming up, Consumer Report says recommendations for the best laptops for your kids heading back to school.
And then coming up next hour at 5, what happened to Rebecca Clayfish's goal to become the GOP governor nominee? We'll have an analysis coming up at 5.
At iMart Express, you'll save on glasses for classes. For $79, get 2 pairs with kid-safe polycarbonate lenses and a free 1-year frame warranty. Don't let the bell ring before you get a chance to save. A $200 value, all for $79.
From loud construction to music blaring and those annoying insects that disrupt your sleep. Things can get noisy outside, but you can enjoy some peace and quiet inside with new Eco Sky windows exclusively from Mad City, featuring noise-reducing glass to soundproof your home. And be sure to ask about grid design inside the glass for easy cleaning. Don't miss out. 30 homeowners who need new windows will save with free installation on a house full of new windows. 18 months, no interest, no payments. Senior military discounts. We're going to take before and after pictures and compensate you for your time. Last chance to call during this program and receive a free $50 Amazon gift card with your free in-home estimate. From Madison throughout South Central Wisconsin, call now with zip code and location to qualify. 608-338-1616. That's 608-338-1616.
These are the faces that smile so wide at the friends and staff who are by their side, where life is lived with a feeling of pride on every bump of life's great ride that comes from the care that sweetens the air that lives in the house that angels built. Attic Angel Community. Independent homes and 4 levels of assisted living built with the help of angels.
It started somewhere between a cuddle and a struggle. It's the side hug. Tween milestones like this may start at age 9. HPV vaccination, a type of cancer prevention against certain HPV-related cancers, can start then, too.
For most, HPV clears on its own. But for others, it can cause certain cancers later in life.
Welcome. Hi.
Now, as the dad cab, it's my cue to help protect them.
Embrace this phase. Help protect them in the next. Ask their doctor about HPV vaccination today.
iMart Express owns selection, price, and speed. Need single vision? Get 2 pairs starting under $40. Progressives, 2 pairs start under $80. Nobody beats us, guaranteed. iMart Express. Right glasses, right price, right now.
New at 5, vying for control of the U.S. House of Representatives. Both parties plan an intense battle over the 3rd congressional district. We ask a political expert what each candidate will need to win.
Looking for another pleasant night on our hands, but we could see a stray shower. We'll give you the latest forecast coming up at 5.
And ahead at 6, the Black Caucus reacts to the Dane County Sheriff's disapproval of their plan for a new jail. We share their perspective on the plan's overall goal. That's tonight at 6.
Even the weather satellite to spin, we end up in Denver, Colorado. It's 94 degrees in the Mile High City.
Ooh, warm there today.
Toasty.
Great city.
Well, if you've got kids in the room, this next item might not be for them.
No, it's time to go back to school, or at least time to start thinking about it.
To make it a little easier, a new laptop might help. Consumer Reports has some great picks. Here's our Leah Lynchide.
With almost everything costing more these days, Consumer Reports has some great news. You don't have to spend a lot to get a quality laptop. One of the best options for a tight budget, a Chromebook.
They're generally less expensive than Mac and PC laptops. They're not the fastest computers out there. But for kind of everyday stuff, browsing the web, editing documents, that type of thing, school work type of stuff, they're totally fine.
Like the Samsung Galaxy Chromebook 2, this convertible laptop can be folded back and also used as a tablet. An even better bang for your buck is this 14-inch HP Chromebook. CR says it's a solid choice for people on the go because it's lightweight and it's anti-reflective, which makes it perfect for using just about anywhere. If you need something more powerful for a little more, CR suggests the Microsoft Surface Laptop Go 2 with a 12.4-inch touchscreen.
It's among the fastest in our ratings for things like web browsing and editing text documents.
There's also the Acer Swift 3. The CR Best Buy scored excellent for portability, performance, and display.
And it has incredible battery life of more than 23 hours.
If you've been saving up or just want to treat yourself to a shiny new Mac, CR recommends the Apple 13-inch MacBook Air with the M1 processor. That's right, that's Apple's older model. But why not the brand new M2?
We're currently testing the M2 MacBook Air, but our early impressions are that it's not a lot faster than the M1 MacBook Air, so it might make sense to get the M1 Air, save a little bit of money, and still get a very good Mac laptop.
While a new laptop might not guarantee good grades, it may give them one less thing to complain about. For News 3 Now, this is Leah Lynchide.
I think that sums it up.
Yeah, exactly. Consumer Reports says August and September are some of the best times to buy a computer because of all the back-to-school sales.
And when you're shopping, don't forget to check for student discounts from your school, stores, or computer makers. Well, the August primary election now in the rearview mirror. Only 90 days now to the midterms.
And what did we learn from last night's results? The director of the Marquette Law School poll, Charles Franklin, shares his thoughts when Live at 4 continues.
Of course, you know the A Grace name. They care every step of the way, and there's a new program right here at A Grace's Adult Day Center. Marcia, tell us a little bit about this program and why the need for it.
So we were seeing on a regular basis that there were people in our community who, especially after COVID, were isolated, definitely seniors that were feeling like they just didn't have the social outlet that they wanted to have. And so we spent about 1.5 years or 2 years really digging deep and doing our research to see if there was a local need here, because we didn't want to duplicate efforts, and we found that there was. So about 1 year ago, we opened up the A Grace Adult Day Center, and it's been a wonderful opportunity to serve people who are in need not only of the social ability, but also it gives the caregiver a break to get out and do some things and take care of themselves.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about A Grace's Adult Day Center and what takes place right here?
Yeah, so A Grace Adult Day Center is for people who have some cognitive issues, dementia, Alzheimer's specifically. So we offer activities here. So like right now they're playing golf, and then we also have like beanbag tossing, they play basketball, air hockey, different things like that here that we have at the day center. And then we also have meals. So we serve breakfast, lunch, and a snack. And then we have physical exercises, more like chair yoga that we can do in the morning and in the afternoon. Time for relaxation here as well. We have caregivers to help on staff with activities of daily living. And we can also pass meds here, and we give showers.
Come and see how a Grace is carrying every step of the way right here at the Adult Day Center. I'm Emmy Fink, and you're buzzed into Madison. I'm heading back to yoga. It was so relaxed.
Consumer Cellular has the best customer service.
They care about the customer.
The best price with the best quality.
The prices, the coverage.
The coverage is great.
It was the same, if not better.
Consumer Cellular provides the exact same premium coverage as the nation's leading carriers for half the cost. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get talk, text, and data starting at just $20 a month.
It's like 4 scoops of ice cream for the price of 1.
Switch today and get a 100% risk-free guarantee. Call or go online.
I love this state. Knock on any door in any county, and you'll find good-hearted, hard-working folks. People whose businesses are proudly helped as Lieutenant Governor. Hard work needs to be respected again, with fair wages and opportunities to get ahead. That's how my parents opened doors for me. My mom was a teacher, and my dad worked 3rd shift. I'm not one of these millionaires. I work just as hard for you as you work for your family. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
And a quick update on our traffic. As of right now, the Beltline is still pretty smooth, but we are looking at some slow spots just off the ramp for Fish Hatchery, and there was a report of an accident that occurred off of the ramp onto Todd Drive as well. So you could probably expect off that ramp a little bit more slow spots going in throughout the rest of our 4 p.m. commute, but overall, things are still pretty smooth sailing as we're continuing throughout the 4 p.m. commute. Now, taking a look at the interstate, looking at no issues as of right now from north or southbound as we're continuing throughout the rest of today. Now, taking a look at what we could be seeing or not seeing throughout the rest of the day, well, things are going to be a little bit more smooth as we take a look at our traffic. And that's going to do it for right now. Let's go ahead and toss it back to you guys.
Julian, thank you. The stage has been set for the midterm elections in November, now just 89 days away.
A race which could determine control of the Senate will have Democrat Mandela Barnes challenging Senator Ron Johnson.
And Trump-backed businessman Tim Michels will take on Governor Tony Evers on November 8th. Lots to unpack today with Director of the Marquette Law School poll, Charles Franklin. Welcome back.
Hi, Charles. Good to see you. Here.
I think one of the biggest surprises of the night had to be Michels' victory over Clayfish, the margin of error.
Yeah, I think a 5-point margin. That's not a blowout, but it was a solid win. And when you look at the map, Michels did very well across most of the regions of the state. In contrast, Clayfish won some of the southeastern counties and Dane County, but she didn't win them by anything like the margins that she won in the lieutenant governor's race in 2010 or that other Republicans have won in that region. So the balance of her underperforming her own past in places of strength and Michels' breadth was really, I think, the recipe. And as I say, a 5-point win's a solid win. It's not a blowout.
So it's Michels against Evers come November. How do you think that matchup is going to be?
Well, I think it puts us in the position of a newcomer in Michels. Granted, he ran in 2004, so it's a little bit of the business Republican, but with an overlay of the Trump support that Michels received. And how much will Michels run as a Trump champion, the way he did to some extent in the primary, and with Trump's backing so much? Or will he try to move to the middle? And I think that's a difficult choice. You don't want to turn off the base that got you the nomination, but on the other hand, Trump is pretty unpopular in the state among the electorate as a whole, even as he is also very popular among Republicans.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Let's take a look at the Senate race now. And all eyes, the whole country is going to be watching our Senate race between Mandela Barnes and Ron Johnson.
Absolutely. It's a big race. Control of the Senate is obviously a really big thing. And once the other Democrats dropped out of that race, it became a bit of a foregone conclusion. So there wasn't much drama on Tuesday night on that race. But both sides have already signaled that they plan to attack soon and attack often. And so I think we will see a real knockdown, drag out in the ad campaigns and the criticisms each side has of the other.
And the money that will be coming
It's predicted $700 million to $1 billion is going to be spent on this.
Yes, I'm not sure there will be no ads for laundry detergent at all. It will all be non-stop political ads.
So what else surprised you overnight? tonight?
I think how close some of the races were. The Attorney General's race was very close. And also, I think the biggest surprise has to be how close Robin Vos came to losing his assembly seat.
2 percentage points.
2 percentage points, 260 votes at the last count I saw. And this is so striking in such a solidly conservative Republican district, with the Speaker of the Assembly, the most powerful, most influential conservative Republican over the last decade plus. And he almost lost because Republican primary voters wanted to do what Democrats could never do, defeat Robin Vos. I think you just have to appreciate both how extraordinarily close that was and what it says about the party.
Well, and Steen, the challenger, was endorsed by Trump.
And there's that Trump effect again. I think actually you could argue that Trump has a bigger effect in a race like that with a little-known challenger in a real small constituency than in the governor's race, where, of course, there were all these ads and everything. People knew about the governor's race. But I doubt that Steen was a household name even in the district until Trump got behind him and introduced him at the Waukesha rally last week.
So Trump still is a major force.
Oh, there's no question he's a major force. He still has a 70% or so favorability rating among Republicans. So the party is still really strong behind him. Now, it is somewhat lower, around 60% or a little less, that say they would like him to run for president again. So there's a little slippage in the party. But it's still, majority of the Republican Party is behind Trump, whether it's a 2024 election or his favorability ratings. But that's the big divide between there and among independents and, of course, Democrats.
Despite all his legal problems.
Despite everything.
Despite January 6th.
You want to list them all, go right ahead, but I don't know if we have a half hour.
Only an hour show there. Well, so you have any polls coming out soon?
It will be out next Wednesday.
Oh, great.
We're going to start calling tonight, and we'll see what people think now that we have definite candidates for the fall.
So see you next week?
I hope so.
We'll pencil you in. We'll ink you in.
I appreciate it.
Charles, thanks for being with us.
See you, Charles.
Thanks.
We'll have a final check of your forecast coming up.
Shop local for quality made in the USA products at Wanakee Furniture, ETC. Browse a wide variety of sofas and hardwood home furnishings from brands you can trust, like Smith Brothers, Simply Amish, and Flex Steel. Every style, every budget.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture, ETC.
When we needed new doors and windows for our home, we were looking for someone we could trust.
We've done the bargain brand windows. We've done the runaround.
What we loved about Next Door and Window is that they were different. The experts guided us through every step of their no-pressure process.
We really loved their educational approach. Next Door and Window helped us understand what was right for us.
They have a totally different approach to doors and windows. They made the window and door replacement process simple.
Call 844-600-NEXT to get 50% off your installation.
I'm a mom of 4 kids. We have one in high school, a toddler, and our latest addition, 7-month-old twins. I can appreciate the impacts of inflation. DC liberals just keep spending. All that money isn't free, and families are paying the price. Senator Ron Johnson is fighting to help Wisconsin families. He voted against reckless spending that caused inflation and to cut waste in Washington. Tell Senator Ron Johnson to keep fighting to stop the spending and hold DC liberals accountable.
In a recent clinical study, patients using Salonpas patch reported reductions in pain severity, using less or a lot less oral pain medicines, and improved quality of life. That's why we recommend Salonpas. It's good medicine.
Shop local for quality made in the USA products at Wanakee Furniture, ETC. Browse a wide variety of sofas and hardwood home furnishings from brands you can trust, like Smith Brothers, Simply Amish, and Flex Steel. Every style, every budget.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture, ETC.
Brad Pfaff or Derek Van Orden, the winning party could control the U.S. House of Representatives. We ask what each candidate needs to outdo the other. And what will happen to Michael Gableman after Assembly Speaker Robin Vos emerges victorious? That's coming up at 5.
When the More Than Pink Walk returns after a 2-year COVID break, one super supporter will be front and center.
Breast cancer is something that we all have connections to.
Charlotte Teleste learns why Komen's local mission is especially important to him. Thursday on News 3 Now at 6.
Well, folks, we're going to take a look at the 3 things we'll need to know closing things out for us. We're going to hold on to those 70s throughout the weekend, warm up a bit towards the, as we head towards the weekend. Throughout the rest of the week, we're still going to be in the 70s. And then next week, that's right, we are still into the 70s as well. But taking a look at what we could be seeing for tonight, well, folks, we could start to see a potential shower as we look ahead. We'll take a deeper look at who may see these showers in just a few moments coming up at 5. Until then, toss it back to you guys.
All right, Julian, thank you. Tomorrow here on Live at 4, we'll meet a badger and some other critters and the woman who is rehabbing them. That's in our Traveler Throwback Thursday.
And Dr. Zorba Pastor will be here to take your medical questions live. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sheesh Raval with the Ortho Team Clinic at Stoughton Health. We hope you can join us for our upcoming event on shoulder pain relief.
Nothing beats a great night's sleep on a new Tempur-Pedic mattress from Steinhoffels. Tempur-Pedic is designed to make aches and pains a thing of the past by relieving pressure points and supporting the body as no other mattress can. Queen Tempur-Pedic start at just $24.49, plus get $300 in Steinhoffels cash. You can rest easy when you take advantage of Steinhoffels special financing. Isn't it time you got a great night's sleep? Relax, it's Steinhoffels.
A Stanley steamer started with one man, a van, and a whole lot of carpet. We've been innovating for a long time. Stanley steamer now goes beyond carpet. We've been cleaning tile and grout, upholstery, rugs, air ducts, and a whole lot more. We don't just clean carpets, we clean homes. So when your home needs a cleaning, give us a ring at 1-800-STEAMER.
Get your outdoor projects done right with Menards. With the best selection of AC2 pressure-treated lumber and the inventory to back it up. Now is the time to get that outdoor project you've been meaning to get to done. Best yet, we've made it convenient for you to get in, out, and back to building. Whichever the project, Menards has the AC2 pressure-treated lumber to get it done.
Save big money at Menards. Research shows that people remember ads with young people having a good time. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance, here's a pool party. Look what I brought! Liberty Mutual! They customize your home insurance! So you only pay for what you need! Young people having a good time with insurance! Young people, good times, insurance! Only pay for what you need. Liberty, 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 liberty.
I love being an orthopedic surgeon because I can help people improve their lives. My name is Ashish Raval. I'm an orthopedic surgeon. My specialty is sports medicine, focusing specifically on the care of the shoulder, hip, and knee.
In today's Final Touch, we visit a desert discovery left from the Ice Age.
And it could allow scientists to dip their toes into uncharted archaeological waters. Scientists in Utah have discovered what is believed to be 12,000-year-old footprints still preserved in a Utah riverbed. 88 fossilized bear footprints belonging to adults and children were found inadvertently by a pair of scientists on an unrelated study in the Utah Test and Training Range. That's a remote military testing area. Experts say this is only the second set of human tracks from the Ice Age ever to be identified in what is now the United States. The other discovery was in 2021 in White Sands National Park in New Mexico. Scientists say footprints record a specific type of evidence that can't be obtained from other fossil records, such as the size, number, and specific movements of ancient groups. 12,000 years ago.
Fascinating.
It is fascinating. That's our time for now. Thanks for watching. See you back here again tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.